I was interrupted. I was going to say that not a bad reputation, but maybe just uncertainty, because it's airplane that is no longer in production, number one. Number two, it's a European airplane. And it's a little bit of a niche airplane, right? I mean, you don't see them everywhere. They have made too many of those. Completely undeserved. If you want an airplane that's extremely comfortable, extremely well built, reasonably priced, with excellent support, and that looks very sexy, that's subjective, but I think it does, very good platform for obtaining your instrument rating, cross-country, touring. This is an airplane to seriously consider. The only thing that this airplane doesn't have, and that's why I'm moving into the 836, it doesn't have the 6 seats, and it's not as big of the SUV type of an airplane like the 836, and that's really the only reason I'm reluctantly selling it. I wish I could keep it, to be honest with you, and if I had 2 hangars I would, but people that don't have that limitation, or they don't need all that space and all that hauling capacity, this might be an extremely good airplane, efficient on fuel and pretty efficient on maintenance. One last thing that I forgot to mention, very unique about these airplanes, maybe another thing that people are scared of it, control surface lubrication. It's really important to lubricate these control surfaces. Unlike any of the other airplanes, you actually take the control surfaces out. A lot of people, when they hear that, they really panic, but it's dead simple. It's well spelled out in the maintenance manual. You basically take them out so you can grease all the bearings. It's actually a part of the procedure. You remove some of the ailerons, you remove the piece of the elevators, rudder, you can grease all the bearings, but the airplane is designed to do that because the control surfaces are push rod, and you can just detach them, lubricate it, put them back together. There's no re-rigging required. Unfortunately, most of the maintenance shops are not familiar with this procedure, and maybe they're not willing to try it, even if you provide them with the instructions, which again are available, and therefore they freak out when you hear that, you know, you're going to be removing ailerons. They think you're going to have to re-rig the airplane afterwards. You don't probably have to do it every year. Maybe it's recommended. I hangar my airplane and I don't fly it in the rain or inclement weather, so I elected to do it every 2 years. But good practice. Definitely get these control surfaces lubricated using the proper technique. That's probably the only thing I forgot to mention about the airplane that's a little bit quirky and very different from any of the other airplanes. Let me not forget about these beefy, massive landing gears. Now let's take a look at these things. I mean, this thing is, look at this trailing link landing gear. I don't know if this is an additional Israeli Air Force kind of a mod, but these, I've had a few firm landings, let's just put it this way, and this airplane can take the beating. I've never really done anything crazy, but I had a few ones, including one on my commercial check rate, which I thought I was gonna fail the check rate, where I was doing short field landing and I really landed it pretty firm. But anyway, this landing gear can take a lot of abuse. Never flown this airplane from a grass runways, so I cannot really talk to you about how it performs on grass. It's just a little worried about that, but it is very, very sturdy. The whole thing is really built like a tank. It also can haul, I mean, it's got 250 horsepower Lycoming IO 540, but it's got almost 1,200 pounds of useful load. So it's actually the same as that Bonanza that I'm looking at to purchase, with 35 horsepower less than the Bonanza. So it's got actually very good useful load capability. The only problem is, again, that rear seat, as you can see, it's kind of it's wide, it's roomy, but you know, the entry to it, not as good as the Bonanza, where you open these French door and you can pile in. Again, limitations. Every airplane has its own shortcomings. So, to wrap it up, I will always be very fond of the Trinidad. I will always miss this airplane dearly. I wish whoever buys it or whoever owns it next many, 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 many happy hours of enjoying this airplane and the happy hours of flying.